welcome to our English news coming to you from Canal. First, the top stories of the news. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, honors the medal-winning athlete in international competitions. To enhance the national economic agreement for the construction of 7 port taxis signed between the main military shipyard and other national ports companies. And citizens and civil society in Morocco are in wrath with the Mahzoun's customs policy with the Zionists, and today deeming it as a serious betrayal to the Palestinian cause. Hello, welcome back to our news. First in the news, during a ceremony embodying the highest values of pride and gratitude towards the champions of the nation, reflecting the state's commitment in supporting sports elite and encouraging the culture of excellency in all fields, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, chaired at the People's Palace here in Algiers, a ceremony devoted to the athlete who honored Algeria and offered joy and pride to Algerians at the international level. Melissa Kabash with the details.
The ceremony witnessed the presence of high state officials, members of the government, and both technical and administrative staffs. The event kicked off by paying tribute to Algerian Paralympians who shone at the World Championship of Para-Athletics in New Delhi, where they snatched 8 medals, including 3 gold ones. A key moment of the ceremony was the distinction of Jamal Sajjati, world champion, during the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. The champion won the silver medal at the 800 meters race. And after 20 years, and thanks to our young generation, the national basketball team was honored after winning the Arab Championship in Bahrain, a victory that allowed the sport to regain its position at the Arab scene. The ceremony concluded by a homage paid to the national football team for its historic qualification to the World Cup after years of absence. It is worth noting that our team finished at the top of their group. A particular tribute was also paid to the national team of Vladimir Petkovic in recognition of his efforts and commitment in leading the Desert Warriors to this achievement. And to immortalize this moment of national sport, the President of the Republic took a souvenir photo with the Paralympics champions honored on this occasion: world champion Jamal Sajjati, the national basketball team, and the national football team. President Abdelmajid Tebboune held conversations with players of the national team and both technical and administrative crew, hailing their heroic performance accomplished along their qualifications, alongside their sports spirit and exemplary discipline, showcasing the true image of an Algerian player during adequate conditions. The President expressed his confidence when it comes to the presence of Algeria in the World Cup and different upcoming competitions, reflecting the spirit of unity. For their part, players extended their thanks and gratitude to the President for this homage, qualifying it as an immense recognition for their efforts. They also affirmed their will in honoring the country in the upcoming sporting events. Sports Minister Walid Sadi hailed the President's interest in accompanying and supporting Algeria's sports by providing the necessary means to our elites.
Mr. the President of the Republic, the results are the outcome of a clear vision, of a well-studied method oriented towards excellency, thanks to the means provided, notably the modern sports infrastructures built and the constant support. Your support and commitment towards our athletes and squad reflect the interest granted to the honorable performances achieved at both national and international levels. Faithful to your clear guidelines, we renew our commitment to pursue our efforts to make sports a real culture by enlarging its practice at the levels of universities, schools, vocational training centers, and urban pools, so as to promote sport in the heart of the society, with a particular attention granted to military sport, to the promotion of the culture of training and the qualification of administrative and technical competences. The action aims at reinforcing the principles of good governance and transparency in the field of sports, as well as accompanying sports elites. An immense amount of efforts to offer an honorable image up to the position occupied by Algeria among nations.
وتعزيز مبادئ الحوكمة والشفافية في تأطير الرياضة ومرافقة رياضي النخبة، كل ذلك لرسم صورة مشرفة تليق بمكانة الجزائر بين الأمم.
Finally, players expressed their heartfelt gratitude for being honored by the president.
This isn't our first meeting with the President of the Republic. We've always known him. Thank God he's one who restores equality for people with disabilities. We thank him deeply. It is a great honor for us to be here with the President. It's not easy to gather everyone like this, but the President welcomed us, and that's a source of pride for us and for all.
It's such a pleasure to be here and meet all the athletes taking part in this event. We are all gathered to honor the national flag and pay tribute to the Algerian people. We are truly grateful to the President of the Republic for organizing this ceremony. His constant support means a lot to us.
We thank the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, for the ceremony. We're used to his support. We will do what it takes to gain more success in the future.
Du soutien de Monsieur le Président. Inch'Allah, de notre part, on va tout faire, Inch'Allah, pour faire de meilleures performances, Inch'Allah, à l'avenir.
Ça nous motive, il nous a honorés, il nous a...
This recognition motivates us tremendously. The President's gesture has deeply honored and inspired both of the players and the staff. We will continue to work hard to represent Algeria proudly in the upcoming competitions.
Dignement l'Algérie dans les prochaines échéances comme la Coupe d'Afrique et la Coupe du Monde.
Pour moi, c'est un rêve pour tout joueur de pouvoir jouer pour...
It is a dream for every player to wear the national colors. Representing Algeria is a true honor, and I'm very happy to be here today.
C'est un exemple, Wallah, c'est un exemple pour nous de réussite.
We're also happy to share this moment together. We are all Algerians, united, proud, and determined to keep raising our country's flag high.
Et on est tous fiers d'être Algériens, donc ça fait plaisir de partager ces moments.
All proud of Algeria. To another story now, Prime Minister Sifir Rib chaired on Wednesday a cabinet meeting pertaining to the preparation for the upcoming educational subject Olympiad for National Education. The government followed a presentation relating to the preparations for the festivities marking the outbreak of the November Revolution. The International Festival on Saharan Tourism was reviewed during this cabinet meeting as well. Tasked by the President of the Republic, the State Minister of Foreign Affairs, National Community Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, took part in the opening session of the 19th Ministerial Meeting of the Non-Alignment Movement held in Kampala, Uganda. Taking the floor, Ahmed Attaf advocated for the right of Palestinian people to establish an independent state and the right of the Sahrawi people to self-determination, while stressing the need for adopting a new approach to settle issues relating to security development. The Algerian delegation taking part in this event responded during this meeting to Mali's lies stemming from the coup leaders' multiple failures who conducted an unconstitutional change, and the current junta is trying to hold other sides responsible, a move that has proved so far to be unsuccessful since those behind it are at the origin of instability and economic and social decline in the country. Still in Kampala, the Energy and Renewable Energies Minister Murad Ajel was received in Maputo by the President of the Mozambique, Daniel Francisco Chapu. As part of his visit to this country, to this effect, Murad Ajel conveyed the President's greeting to the Mozambican counterpart, indicating that this visit is to implement the outcomes of the visit paid by the President Chapu to Algeria last September. Ways and means of further promoting partnership were examined during this audience. Still in Mozambique, and following the audience, Mr. Murad Ajel and the delegation accompanying him held a series of meetings and talks with Mozambican ministers and advisors with a view to giving a new impetus to cooperation between the two countries before holding a press conference during which he tackled aspects of cooperation between the two countries, above all the energy field. To another story, the Agriculture Minister Yassine Al-Mahdi Wali took part in the Food and Agriculture Forum held in Rome, Italy. The Agriculture Minister reiterated Algeria's commitment to consolidate food security by developing sustainable agriculture products and investments in sub-Saharan regions, while stressing Algeria's openness to foreign investments, notably mega projects with the Qatar and Italian partners. You are still watching Canal Algérie. Coming up in our news, several African and Asian nations renew calls for the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination, urging swift UN action to speed up the decolonization process. Welcome back to our news. As part of enhancing the national economy, an agreement for the construction of 7 port tags with a capacity of 70 tons was signed by the naval shipyard of Mars Al Kibir for the benefit of port companies of Iran, Azius, Kikda and Annaba, which are part of the common interest group of the port companies. This operation is part of the implementation of the directives of the Army General Minister Delegate to the National Minister PNA Chief of Staff, aimed at integrating the military industry into the national industrial fabric. Worth mentioning that the Army General chaired the inauguration ceremony of the tugboat of El Bessel in 2024, this first model in this series manufactured by the same enterprise after its commissioning with the Naval Forces fleet. And now to the weekly report of the PNA. And as part of fighting terrorism, troops of PNA eliminated a terrorist and restored weapons in his possession at the level of the military sector of Tbessa, belonging to the 5th Military Region. In the same context, 5 elements backing terrorist groups were arrested in different operations throughout the national territory. As for combating organized crime and drug trafficking, combined detachments of the PNA in coordination with the different security services intercepted 40 drug traffickers and thwarted attempts to introduce 16 quintals and 13 kilograms of processed cannabis heading from the Moroccan borders, and seized 1.61 kilograms of cocaine and huge quantities of psychotropic tablets. In Tamaras, Burj Baji Mukhtar, Ain Saleh and Ain Gizem, detachments of the PNA arrested 313 individuals and seized 3 vehicles and other equipment used in illegal gold panning operations. Other weapons, equipment, foodstuff, fuel and tobacco intended for speculation and smuggling were also seized in several operations throughout the country. And finally, coastal guards foiled attempts to illegal migration, rescued 218 people and arrested 374 migrants of different nationalities. To international news now, and to Morocco, where protest is commonplace as the Makhzen regime keeps fueling the public wrath with provocative measures denoting the unconditional support to the Zionist entity, the military ships of which are docking in the country's main port, a move deemed as a betrayal to the central Palestinian cause. More details with Bismafar.
For the second time this year, Morocco is facing a wave of criticism over the docking of ships linked to the Zionist entity destination. These vessels, reportedly carrying weapons, have been refueling at Moroccan ports before resuming their journey. Human rights organizations have strongly condemned the move, accusing Rabat of indirectly supporting the Zionist war machine. Several NGOs say that over the past 2 years, a number of Moroccan ports have been used as logistical hubs for the Zionist army. They argue that this activity facilitates the ongoing genocide against the Palestinian people. Activists see this as a direct consequence of the Maritime Cooperation Agreement signed in 2023 between the Moroccan government, known as the Makhzen, and the Israeli entity. Public anger has been mounting. Many Moroccans, known for their deep solidarity with Palestine, have called for the cancellation of the normalization deals with the genocidal entity. But despite repeated appeals, the Moroccan authorities continue to defend what they call a strategic alliance, prioritizing diplomatic and economic interests over the country's long-standing support for the Palestinian cause.
To a related story, at the UN in New York, several African and Asian nations renewed calls for the Sahara people's right to self-determination, urging swift UN action to end decades of stalemate in Western Sahara. Melissa Lila Balaman has the details.
In New York, the issue of Western Sahara remains high on the global agenda. At the UN General Assembly's Fourth Committee, several African and Asian nations reaffirmed their support for the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination and independence, calling it a core principle of international law and a moral duty the world has yet to fulfill. South Africa set the tone, urging the swift organization of the long-delayed referendum, calling it a fundamental, inalienable right. Pretoria's delegate warned that the situation in what he described as Africa's last colony is not just regional, but a test of the UN's credibility and commitment to universal decolonization. Uganda and Mozambique echoed that stance, urging a coordinated, constructive approach to foster conditions for peace. Both called for respect of UN and African Union resolutions and reiterated their firm backing of the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination. Mozambique voiced concern over the process's stagnation, warning that inaction only fuels tensions and delays regional stability. Timor-Leste and Iran pressed the UN to take full responsibility for resolving the conflict. Timor-Leste's representative called for a stronger MINURSO mandate, with human rights monitoring and humanitarian aid. Iran's delegate reminded the Assembly that over 60 years have passed since the UN labeled Western Sahara as a territory to be decolonized. Yet, countless resolutions affirming the Sahrawi people's right to freely decide their future remains unfulfilled.
With this, we come to the end of our news bulletin. Tomorrow, another day, other news. Keep tuning to our channel programs. Take care. Goodbye for now.